full government, all right. Henry Christian Gyamfi. I'm 24, a son, brother, happen to be a pastor, happen to be a youth mentor, and just an advocate for change and transformation. I just basically help people and use my story to also create other stories for people as well. I brought my first ever book that I read. So growing up, I used to hate reading because I just felt like people that had my skin color or looked like me didn't like reading. It was probably more just listening to music. But when I was 20 years old, I finished my first ever book, and it's by Dr. Miles Monroe, Becoming a Leader. This book helped me so much. Second book, I'm a man of God. I believe in God. I love him. I rep him. I brought the best ever book in the whole world, which is the Bible. Very instrumental to my life. And last but not least, apparently there's a guy called Henry Christian Gyamfi that wrote a book called Progression Over Perfection. And yeah, it's my first debut book ever in my life. Other than it being like some advice and tips and biblical wisdom and practical steps to help you to overcome the pressure of the microwave generation, this was actually therapy for me, because I was going through the stigma of perfection. I wanted to arrive before becoming, and when I was actually going through that process, this was basically my therapy, my outlet, my venting space. And it just so happened to be a book that's helping other people as well, going through the same thing. I remember being in Coventry University, 19, thinking that I had everything, to offer. And I get asked this question that I myself was asking, but never actually had the courage to physically ask myself. I knew this question was something in my heart. In chapter 3, which I titled The Misconception of Perfection, my flatmate, who was being shady, but saying something very real, asked me a question that was very daunting. She asked me, all of my friends have a talent, all of my friends look perfect. What do I actually have to offer? What do I actually give to the world? And from that moment, I started to go on a journey of finding out what actually is perfection. And I found out that there is actually a massive misconception of perfection that needed to be removed so that someone doesn't go up to the same road that I was leading on. Redefining what perfection looks like. Perfection to me was presented that you had to have everything under control, you had to have everything right in the first moment, but then this perfection is actually a lie, it's actually deceiving, but progressing, which I was as well when I was embarking on this journey. When I actually took off the mask of what the world had told me that perfection was just, a already thing that was made or whatnot, that really took me out of this dark space. The number one thing I want people to take from this book is that this book was written to be like a manual. Like, everyone goes through the pressure. We all happen to be in a microwave generation. But just because we are in the microwave generation doesn't mean we need to become the microwave generation or act like it. We can be the catalyst that actually redefine this microwave generation to actually growing and progressing the normal way, the right way. So when you pick up this book, just know that you're about to be a pioneer like myself and come against the status quo. It's the one book that when you read it, it actually reads yourself. That's why so many people actually have difficulty in reading the Bible. Nobody wants to be read unless they actually want to grow. Nobody wants to be read unless they actually want to be uncomfortable to grow. The Bible's challenging, the Bible's difficult, but the Bible helps, especially if you want to become a better person. My whole right sleeve is covered in ink, but there was one tattoo that signifies who I am, and that's in Psalms 23, which is a book written by King David, a flawed man, but done many great things like most of us will do. And he says that the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, and he makes me lie down in green patches. And he's just talking about how, like all of us, can go from a place of being loud, being, anxious, being depressed, being whatever, but the transition from being loud and then him taking us on a journey to be still and calm and peaceful. So that is my favorite verse in the Bible. I've already talked about what I've been reading and what I've read, but why should the Mandem read? Is because, I believe every man watching this is a leader. And I don't just believe it, I know it. Even if you don't feel like you are, there's one person that actually knows that you are, and that's me, and I can't wait for you to know that you're a leader as well. And one significant trait with leaders is that they're actually readers. They're people that actually want to absorb knowledge from all kinds of space. So I believe the Mandem should be reading this because you're going to find out who you are, you're going to find out ideologies that you love, ideologies that you can't stand. And like the Bible, you're gonna read something that will actually help you to read who you are. If the Mandem want to actually cause change, which I know we all do, we need to first find out who we are and then be able to tell the world who the Mandem truly is, rather than the world tell us who we are. My name is Henry. I've just been on the What Are the Mandem Reading show, amazing show by the way. And you can find me on Instagram, Mr. HG100. I'm a LinkedIn master boss class. I drink matcha and have half sips, so I'm all about that. You can find me on LinkedIn, Henry Christian Gyamfi. And most importantly, you can find this amazing book, Progression Over Perfection, on Amazon. God bless you.